Whether you stayed up late reading because the book was just too good to put down, or are looking for a simple and quick practice to start your day on the right note, heck, why not both? This practice is for you. I always feel so much more focused, calm, and centered when I start my day with intention. So that's my hope with this practice today. All you'll need is a blanket and 2 blocks. Go ahead and roll up your blanket so it looks like this, and place it towards the top of your mat. Lie back so your shoulders touch your mat and your blanket roll is right on the bottom tip of your shoulder blades. Your arms reach out above the blanket roll and allow your palms to face up towards the ceiling. Anything goes in the legs here. So you can have your knees bent like mine are here, feet flat on the mat. Legs can be extended. Or if you'd like an extra opening for the hips, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees open out wide in Supta Baddha Konasana. And we can call this, which I refer to as another version of open books, but just for fun, let's call it Chapter 1. Since we're starting our day, it's cheesy, but I also love it. I love using the blanket roll as a really gentle chest opener, heart opener. Can feel a little kinder than blocks, especially first thing in the morning. And I like the idea of starting my day with an open heart, just the energetics of it, but also practically, so much of our daily lives are in front of us, so our shoulders are rounded, our chest can oftentimes collapse. So this is just a little step towards undoing all of that forward rounding that we can oftentimes find ourselves in throughout the day. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring both feet onto your mat, knees bent, and allow your feet to be about hip-width distance or a little bit wider. Keep your upper body where it is. Take your knees over to the right, center, over to the left. It's a little elevated version of windshield wipers, or as I like to call it in this Yoga for Readers world that we're creating together, pages in the wind. I don't know, it always elicits this image of like reading outside and the pages are blowing. So any image that it brings up for you, go with it. The next time that you bring your knees over to the right, stay there for a few breaths. Option to stack the legs versus having the legs staggered, feet wide. If you come into it and you're like, no, it felt better with my feet staggered, you can always come back. On your next inhale, legs come to center once again. And next exhale, bring your legs over to the left. If you catch yourself holding your breath, Maybe give a little chuckle, like, oh, yeah, that's okay. Even yoga teachers do it. It happens to all of us. Our minds are so powerful with all that they do. Sometimes we get away from the present moment. So just come back, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Bring your legs back to center. Roll all the way over onto your right side. Press yourself up and move your blanket roll off to the side for now. And come all the way back onto your back. Bring your hands to your hips and tilt your pelvis down towards the floor so your lower back lifts away from the mat. And then tilt your pelvis back towards you, like you're scooping your abdomen and your lower back becomes flush with the mat. Tilt the pelvis forward, away from the torso, lower back lifts, and tilt the pelvis back, lower back becomes flush with the mat. So sometimes having the hands on the hips can really help us find this movement, especially if it's new. I really like starting my day with really gentle movements, especially if I was up late or just didn't sleep well, or just to help the body wake up. Maybe the arms come out at your sides. And then find neutral spine. So in between those two, where the spine is really lifted from, or the low back is really lifted from the mat versus pressing like into the mat, more flush. So get a sense of what your neutral is. Nice. Then press into the feet and lift your hips up. Bridge pose. And as you exhale, lower back down nice and slow. And see if you can find the pelvic tilts here. So in preparing to lift, tuck the pelvis, then press into the feet. Keep the tuck of the pelvis as you lift the hips up. And as you exhale, keep the tuck, keep the tuck. Roll vertebrae by vertebrae. Tailbone is the last to tilt. Finding that neutral position. Tuck the pelvis before you lift up, press into the feet. Keep that engagement through the core. Keep the tuck of the pelvis as you slowly roll down. Nice. Last one. Notice if you are finding yourself gripping through the hands, through the shoulders, through the chest, maybe even through the brow, through the face. Good. And release. Give a gentle rock side to side. So not full on windshield wipers or pages in the wind. Just a little tick-tock of the legs, a few inches to the sides. Bring your knees all the way over to the right. Roll over to the right. Left hand comes to the floor, to your mat, and press yourself up. I'm going to resituate on my mat. You can stay where you are. Just want to make sure you see, and I'll also rotate so you'll see a side view as well. So we want to come into what's called a 90-90 position. Or if you practice yin yoga, this might look very familiar to deer pose. So different names, basically the same shape. The only difference is that in deer, you can start with the left thigh, in this case, closer to the right foot. 90-90, we're trying to find 90 degrees in both legs. So the knee will be further back in that case. But you can play with the placement of this left leg, this left knee. Yeah. And whichever you decide, keep deciding if you're still figuring it out. And just turn your gaze towards me. You're gonna turn to the left. So, hands come behind you. Keep the feet where they are. Turn towards the left. Keep going, keep going. Feet stay where they are. And then you're gonna rotate towards the left now. So you're in this 90-90 or deer pose to the left. And we're just gonna keep tick-tocking. So I'll show a side view, okay? So you can be closer, the knee closer to the foot, or further away. Hands come behind, plant the feet, rotate towards the left. So now the right leg is the back leg. A little hip mobility here. If this feels really like rickety, like you feel like you're the Tin Man, go slow. Take it slow. Take it slow, like you're moving through molasses. It doesn't have to be fast. So if you have the leg closer towards the heel, that might make it a little bit easier too. You can also play with like where your seat is in space. So the closer that you are to the feet will have more compression for the hips. So if it feels really difficult when you're here and you can't move, just take your seat further away from the feet. Give yourself more space. Good. Last one each side. Next time that you come to your starting position, so your right shin is the one in front, and lower yourself down. Take your time to your forearms. So you're in a reclined position in the upper body. If you feel like that is very far, you can bring the blocks underneath the forearms. Where's my block? There we go. Okay. So we're getting internal and external rotation in the hips. Good. And then slowly come back up. Switch sides. Bring your blocks with you if you use them. Bring them behind you. Lower one forearm, then the other, either to the floor or to the block. Ooh. This is always the tighter hip for me. So whether you're finding more openness on this side or more tightness along with me, find a place where you can be at ease. Still have sensation, but not to the point where you're like making faces or tensing up through the shoulders. So if that means bringing the knee more forward, go for it. I'm right there with you. And also paying special attention to when something feels really challenging or difficult or discomfort arises. Not pain, discomfort. There's a difference. That can be a whole other video on its own. Notice what happens with the mental chatter. What kinds of things are you starting to say to yourself? Oh, and slowly release. All right. Come into all fours. Find a little sway side to side, front to back. A few rounds of cat-cow. On your inhale, drop the belly. Lengthen the gaze forward. And as you exhale, round through your spine, press the mat or the blocks away, wherever your hands rest. Inhale, arching through the spine. See if you can find that spinal articulation, vertebrae by vertebrae, that we practice with in bridge. Ooh. So starting with the pelvis first, low back, mid back, upper back, neck, head. Then starting at the pelvis again, tucking first, low back, mid back, upper back, neck, head. Same thing, starting at the base of the spine, articulating all the way up, head is last. The last one, bringing more presence and awareness and intention and attention to the movement. And release. Shift your weight back towards your heels. You can keep your hands on your blocks or remove them. I'm going to keep my hands here just for a little more space, especially in the morning. Space is magic. On your inhale, find cat-cow. So this will target more of the upper back, which can get pretty stiff, especially in the mornings. I find that this movement helps to warm this area up a little bit more, and then I move so much more easily throughout the day. So how you move now sets the intention for your day ahead. So think about the qualities that you want to infuse into this time with yourself, with your body, and how that will carry through with you for the rest of the day, maybe into the rest of your week. Move your blocks out of the way. Start to shift forward, bring your knees back, and lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. You can keep your blanket here. Just fine if it's pressing in a weird spot, just readjust where you are on your mat. Hands stay underneath the shoulders or slightly back, just being mindful of where that blanket is. On your inhale, imagine that you're sliding your hands back as you lift and lengthen through the head, the neck, the chest. Draw your shoulders up and back. And now as you exhale, lower forehead back down. Keep the hands where they are. Inhale, lift. Cobra flow. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You find that you're starting to feel this in the low back. Remember that pelvic tilt that we played with in our bridge pose. Can you find that, or in the bridge, but also before the bridge, with just the tilts, can you find a little bit of that tilt of the pelvis towards the mat? So press that pubic bone gently, mindfully, into the mat. Notice how that changes the sensation in your low back. On your next inhale, tuck your toes, lift up, either into a tabletop, or if you want a little bit more, downward facing dog. If you have your blanket on your mat, you can either remove it at this point or keep it where it is, but just be mindful that your feet and your hands are on the sticky mat, just for more support and stability, especially if you're coming into downward facing dog. If you are choosing down dog, maybe pedaling the feet. If you're in tabletop, you can extend one leg back and find a little rock. Just make sure you switch sides. From downward facing dog, step or walk your feet forward. Uttanasana. And from your tabletop, losing my glasses here. From your tabletop, step one foot forward, then the other. Standing forward fold, so we all meet in the same place. Bend your knees, hands to opposite elbows, find a gentle sway side to side. And switch the crossing of your arms. Deep breaths. Release your hands down. Press into your feet. Navel draws up and in. Slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Finding that articulation of the spine. Once you're standing, few shoulder rolls. How are we feeling? Hopefully good. Come to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Option to look up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need. Your blocks are here if you would like a little more height for the floor to reach you. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine. Draw the shoulders down and back, similar in that cobra. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet. Sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, nice long spine. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Press into the feet, engage through the core to help you rise and lift. And on your next exhale, palms to heart center. Last one, inhale, sweep arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Reach those arms up. Bring your right hand around your left wrist. And as you inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, side bend over. I'm mirroring you if you feel confused in this moment. Inhale, arms reach up. Left fingertips around your right wrist, think up and over. Inhale, reach, switch sides once again. Notice if the weight has shifted in your feet, try to keep it even. Inhale, release, exhale, side bend. Inhale, center, exhale, palms to heart center. We'll close with breath of joy. I'll show you forward and then I'll turn sideways so you can see from both sides. There's 3 parts to the breath. Inhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. So really 3-part inhale, 1 exhale. Inhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. And notice that I'm bending my knees. So one more time, slow. Inhale, arms forward. Through the nose. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, through the mouth. All right? We're gonna do it 4 times. 4 to create evenness and stability for your day ahead. You can always do more if you like, but that's where we're gonna start today. So ready? Reach your arms up, big inhale, exhale, palms to heart center. option to close your eyes and find a gentle rock side to side. One hand over your heart, other hand on top, or over your belly, your solar plexus, your center of power, where your sense of self resides. So connect with your heart, the energy of your heart, the energy of yourself, your power, your strength, your courage. Bring that with you throughout the rest of your day. Thank you for sharing your morning with me. I hope to see you again. Have a beautiful day, friends.